Hello, I'm Peter Underwood, and this is one of a series of videos about Shire Living schemes in Shropshire, Staffordshire and Telford and Wrekin. We're going to be looking at the places, the people who live there and the staff who work there. The thing that first impresses you about Beechwood is the way it fits into the leafy suburban road less than a mile from the heart of Newcastle under Lyme. Although it sits above a roundabout, this building is shielded by mature trees and a park-like frontage, echoing the spacious grounds of the 1930s properties on the same road, and even the popular grounds of Brampton Park, with its museum and tea room just a couple of 100 yards away towards Newcastle. The residential area also boasts a church, a pub and a restaurant, and Beechwood is on a main bus route into Newcastle with its shops, banks and other facilities. The 65 apartments consist of 28 one-bedroom and 37 two-bedroom, and the building was completed in 2016, designed by architects Sutton and Wilkinson and built by Wilmot Dixon Housing at a cost of just under £10 million. Now, Beechwood has been designed around existing trees and levels, with a terraced garden area located at the centre of the scheme, offering a tranquil private space for residents to enjoy and relax. There are other terraces and access onto the grassy slopes around the mature trees that sit between the building and the road. The main entrance is a light double height space with a projecting spine wall which clearly directs people towards the entrance doors, and that projecting wall supports a large overhanging entrance canopy, giving shelter and even a seat for people waiting for transport. Once through the doors, the spacious reception area and restaurant are light and attractive and incorporate a pleasant breakout sitting area, as well as a pool table and games area at the opposite end. The multi-use room opens off this central area, as does the scooter store, with the laundry not far away. The residence lounge is also off the restaurant and is a hive of activity, with scheme manager June Downing giving no quarter when bowling against one of the residents on the Wii games machine, others having their nails decorated on the day we visited. Like others, this lounge is equipped with a coffee bar with all the facilities for making a brew, a television, library, comfortable chairs, and it opens out rather pleasantly onto the central garden terrace on one side and through to the games area on the other. Residents and staff were preparing for their summer fete when we visited, and the garden terrace was full of gazebos, ready to shelter from sun or storm, whatever the weather threw up. As one of Beechwood's gardening enthusiasts explained, the raised beds and planters have become an important part of life for many.
And what happened when we first moved in, we got all these trees, we got all this grass, and there was no colour. So we all got together, we all decided to do something about it, so we went out and bought these. I mean, some of the plants are finished. And then Sid and Julia, who lived up there, they passed away, God rest their soul, and they were the life and soul of everything. And this box in the middle here had just edges in. So he said, well, why don't we rip it out, get the gardens, rip it out, and we'll plant some plants, and it'll become a memorial garden. When we first moved in here, the very first week, when my wife, we were in the flat upstairs and she absolutely loved it. But then in 2021 she got the dreaded COVID from the hospital,
Yeah.
and she passed away.
Okay.
So I couldn't live up there, so that's why I moved down here.
Yeah.
And with having a patio of plants, my wife liked plants, so I planted a rose over there in the name.
Right,
I always tell them this is the west wing. Yeah, this is the secure unit. You know what I mean? When you come down here, you can't get out.
Beechwood is a place with views and the balconies to take advantage of them, with many of the apartments having proper balconies and the ground floor apartments having direct access to the outside space. The architects have done a good job with the position of the windows and balconies not overlooking others to any great extent, and Beechwood sits comfortably within this residential neighbourhood. It makes creative use of natural light, colour, textures and materials, and the social spaces, both internal and external, work really well. And the people who live at Beechwood are in no doubt about these attractions and are clearly delighted to be here. Right, what's best about
The staff, and the furnishings, and the apartments, lovely,
Yeah, yeah.
and the entertainment.
All right. What's your favourite part of what sort of entertainment do you like?
Singer.
Yeah. Can I ask how old you are?
Want to know? I'm 94.
About 9 months.
And was it the right decision to come here?
Not sure yet.
You're still making up your mind. What are the negatives?
Loneliness. And I know that sounds ridiculous when there's all these people here. But it's very difficult to make a friend.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's lovely. It really is. I mean, the food's excellent and the apartments are beautiful.
Yeah.
I've got 2 good friends here. But,
We enjoyed the companionship. We got lots of friends. Staff are really good to us.
Yeah.
Staff are always pleasant.
What's not so good?
what do you dislike?
I don't dislike anything.
Helen Kemp is one of the Shire Living Voices representatives for Beechwood, and she gave me some insight into what it's like to be living here.
You've got your own front door,
Yeah.
but you can come down, if you're feeling a bit down, you can come down, just say hello to somebody, staff on reception. And there are lots of things going on that you can join in with.
And you obviously get involved because you're on this Shire Living
Yes.
Voices thing, aren't
Yes,
you?
yes.
Yeah.
And we did the cake sale yesterday as well, which was good fun.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be a nice place. It's nice,
Yes.
attractive, well
Yes.
designed.
Yes, I think it's a lovely environment when you walk in.
And some of the best gardens I've seen with all those mature trees out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and everybody's worked very hard.
So I mean that's what's good about the place, and in a way that's obvious. What's not so good about it?
Sometimes I think you can get into a rut and get stuck inside and not bother, just say you don't feel particularly brilliant. I wish we had more separate rooms. I would love to have a computer room and say a separate room where we can play the bingo and other games, but there isn't the room. Sometimes I think it's quite difficult for the managers to persuade people to make the most of a place
What
like
there is
this.
there, yeah. But it was the right decision from your point of view.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. It's made a huge difference to me. And I think mentally, just as much as physically.
Staff, are they good?
Yes, they do their best. They're very limited with not having enough staff sometimes.
And that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Is security important as well? I mean, these are very,
Very much
secure.
so. But it's just so nice to know that when you close your door, that hopefully nobody is able to get in.
That seems quite good.
And when you live in a bungalow like I did on your own, that can be very worrying.
Yeah. What would be your advice to somebody who was of a suitable age and thinking about coming to a place like this?
Well, I personally would say it was the best thing I've done. but that's speaking from my point of view. You've got to be prepared, I think, to mix.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's also a place where if you want to keep your front door closed, you can.
June Downing has been the manager at Beechwood since it opened and clearly enjoys the role, to say nothing of winning a game of 10-pin bowling on the Wii, of course. And they seem a very lively bunch. I was quite impressed when I first walked in here this morning.
Good, I'm pleased. I normally say to anybody who comes for the first time who doesn't know Beechwood, as it is over 55s. The eldest person we have is 99, but their ages really are 21 to 40. And it's a lovely outlook on life. Nobody is woe is me, age is a number. All our activities, the alcohol flows quite freely.
So I'm told. I was hearing some tales.
Oh, I can imagine. But it's very sociable. It is very sociable here. It's a nice place to work. It's a nice place, as they say, for live. And I'm hoping that's how they feel, because it's a nice place for us to come as well.
Yeah.
And I do, when I'm showing any new tenants round, I normally give them the waffle, as we do. This is this, this is this, this is the costs. And then I always ask them to come on a day when there's activities, because after every activity, there's always a coffee and natter, always. Yeah. And then what I do is I bring them in here, I sit them with the other tenants, and I say, right, now speak to the people who live here, they'll tell you the truth. I would not lie to them, but it's nice to listen, because I've had so many people have come with their families, and I don't want to leave my home, I've been there for 50 odd years, it's my life, it's a big move, and I understand that, it's a massive move, it is for any of us. But then, when you speak to them after and they say, it's the best thing I've ever done, your job's worthwhile then.
I always ask managers as I go around, what are you in relation to your tenants? Are you a leader? Are you a partner? What is that relationship?
Well, they call me a manager.
Yeah.
They do class me as the manager or the boss.
Yeah.
The boss is coming. But I do think we've got a partnership. I do think we've got a good friendship in here. Yes, there's still rules and regulations which come with any tenancies. And I'm very fortunate as my tenants do abide by them. And that's what makes it for a nicer place. But no, I'm open door. No matter what I've got on, the door's there if they need me.
And to what extent do you allow them to lead on things like what entertainment you're going to have?
Everything is led by them.
Yeah.
Everything. We facilitate it for them. But we have an activity girl, and what she'll do is she has meetings with them regularly. What do we want on this month? How many singers do we want? What sort of shops do we want? We have lots of pop-up shops. And they say what they want. They quite happily tell us if the entertainment was rubbish, as you can imagine. But our tenants are quite happy to get involved. They're very, very involved, and I like that because they know better than anybody what works. Yeah. All I will say is I'm very fortunate that when anybody comes in who's new, they say what a nice atmosphere it is in here, and that's what I want. As long as we can work together, all of us, so it's the care side, it's the kitchen side, it's the cleaner, it's our housing side, we're all one team here, and nobody should be saying that isn't my job.